that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Me? What are you talking about?
Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
Drama pieces going on between Jenna Ortega and the Walt Disney Company. Disney's been trying to desperately get her on board.
It's too stressful, and frankly, I do not have the nerve.
What in the fairy tale world is going on with Snow White? The drama behind Disney's live-action adaptation is more twisted than the evil queen's intentions.
There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Today, we're diving into the controversy swirling around the beloved princess, where once a celebrated vision from Rachel Zegler now appears to be giving way to a daring, woke reboot led by none other than Jenna Ortega. Stick with me as we unravel the wild behind-the-scenes drama.
It looks beautiful, but I don't know anything about her. So it's hard to develop some sort of admiration or connection with women when they're written very two-dimensional.
From explosive on-set tensions and creative clashes to box office battlegrounds that pit vintage charm against modern reinvention. Trust me, you won't want to miss this twist in the tale. For months, the buzz around Disney's Snow White film.
This woman is extraordinarily woke, as everyone is in Hollywood, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged.
Starring Rachel Zegler has been, well, let's just say less enchanting and more embroiled in controversy. From the moment Zegler, a talented actress of Colombian American descent, was cast, a segment of die-hard fans voiced their displeasure.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point, saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Premiere.
Claiming it betrayed the traditional depiction of the iconic princess. But that was just the tip of the iceberg, a mere poisoned apple bite compared to the brewing storm behind the scenes. Rachel Zegler herself, in interviews,
"Our rights are on the line, folks.
The right to buy Cosby sweaters?"
often spoke of wanting to bring a contemporary perspective to Snow White, championing ideas of independence and self-determination. While Disney executives initially seemed on board with the notion of a bolder, braver Snow White.
When I did television shows when I was younger, they would take us to media training, or they would call it, Disney 101 or something like that, where you would go and they would give you a notebook and pens and pencils and paper, and they would say, okay, you're gonna post 3 times a day.
These very comments ignited a backlash from longtime fans. Many accused her of dismissing the cherished legacy of the 1937 animated masterpiece.
Movie companies are going to look at her and they're going to say box office poison. And a lot of this is due to her behavior leading up to the film's release.
This negativity, as insiders reported, seemed to seep onto the set, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. The production itself was far from a fairy tale. The release date slipped repeatedly from 2024 to 2025.
And a couple of months ago, we had heard that if Snow White didn't do good at the box office, feminist films were going to struggle, like Frozen 3 might not end up happening.
Plagued by multiple rounds of reshoots and a revolving door of creative leads, each with a different vision for the story. Even Greta Gerwig, known for her unique storytelling, contributed to the screenplay, attempting to blend classic motifs with modern sensibilities.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie.
But the pressure from Disney's top brass, including CEO Bob Iger, was immense. Snow White, after all, is one of their most treasured properties. Adding to the cauldron of chaos were whispers of conflict between Rachel Zegler.
This was Jenna's main reasoning of deciding to back out of the project, and created serious creative differences between herself
and her formidable co-star, Gal Gadot, who portrayed the evil queen. Despite outward cordiality, rumors swirled of friction between the two leads. Rachel Zegler's strong opinions about her heroine clashed with Gal Gadot's reportedly darker, more improvisational approach to the antagonist.
Well, like me, who watched Disney princess movies when the world was okay and it was acceptable for us to dream about being a princess as a woman and meeting a handsome prince. But oh no, these big bad feminists now are telling us that's ridiculous. How dare you want to meet a handsome prince?
Insiders even claimed these clashes sometimes erupted into unrehearsed battles of wills on set, causing significant delays and requiring numerous takes to salvage scenes. One particularly chaotic day allegedly saw Rachel Zegler posting herself in an empty theater for her own movie.
They are getting absolutely wrecked, and of course Minecraft has blown up at the box office.
A rather lonely image amidst all the turmoil. Meanwhile, a seemingly unlikely contender emerged from the shadows, the live-action Minecraft movie. While Snow White's production was mired in drama.
The future of Hollywood is being battled out right now in theaters as two live-action remakes from the biggest studios in Hollywood go head-to-head.
Minecraft was quietly creating something magical. Early reports indicated an overwhelmingly positive audience reaction, a stark contrast to the growing unease surrounding Snow White. And then came the shocking numbers.
Do you know, how hard it is to find an attractive young woman in Hollywood who can act and sing? It's not hard. Who just isn't going to offend half the country?
In its opening weekend in the United States, Minecraft reportedly made more money than Snow White had globally after 3 weekends. The David and Goliath battle wasn't even a fair fight.
And be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after. No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that.
The critical reception mirrored this divide. While Minecraft garnered positive reviews, described as silly fun for kids and non-political, Snow White faced a critical drubbing. One particularly damning assessment.
It's easy to forget, with Minecraft mania taking over the box office, that there's another big budget movie that's out right now for Disney. A movie that cost approximately 2 times as much as the Minecraft movie, for the record.
Echoed by sources within the industry, suggested that the Snow White model was a message ad infinitum shoved directly up your ass in the most insufferable way. Even fan approval ratings showed a significant gap. And then
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight.
The news dropped like a poisoned apple, a development that sent shockwaves through Hollywood and left Rachel Zegler reportedly blindsided. Surprise reports surfaced that Disney was in the early stages of planning a completely new Snow White remake.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
So we didn't do that this time.
And the rumored star taking on the iconic role, none other than the rising star Jenna Ortega. No major press conference confirmed this bombshell, but the rumor mill went into overdrive. The question on everyone's lips.
And the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign.
Had Disney lost faith in the existing 2025 adaptation? Were they trying to pivot away from the controversies by starting fresh with an entirely new creative team and a different face for Rachel Zegler, who had poured her heart and soul into the project?
And that just goes to show you exactly what kind of core customer base Disney has versus what Warner Brothers has right now, and exactly how each business, how each studio is doing things differently on a very wide scale.
This news was a staggering blow, reportedly learning about it through online speculation. Sources claimed Rachel Zegler was deeply hurt by this apparent decision from the studio she had trusted. She had hoped that a polished final product could overcome the negativity.
You know what's interesting about all this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
Now, with Disney seemingly hedging its bets on another version, it appeared the studio no longer believed in her adaptation, enough to stand behind it unequivocally. The internal rumblings at Disney intensified.
You don't particularly see people who, look like me or are me playing roles like that. So it was definitely, when it got announced,
He wasn't a stalker, by the way.
Thing that was like trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry.
Executives were reportedly in damage control mode, desperately trying to figure out what to do with the Rachel Zegler film without risking further backlash. Some suggested a quiet theatrical release followed by a swift drop onto Disney+.
Yeah, we had more dwarfs than we did viewers in most of these theaters. And as you know, there were no dwarfs other than some CGI weird generated version of them. It's the old, it truly is go woke, go broke.
Others even floated the idea of skipping Disney Plus altogether to avoid confusing audiences once the Ortega project moved forward. For Rachel Zegler, the prospect of her Snow White not even appearing on Disney's flagship streaming service.
The theaters don't know what to do. I mean, it's so bizarre to have people there again. And you got to think, if it wasn't for this film, they were going to have to depend on thunderdolts.
Felt like an existential threat to her career. Adding insult to injury were the online reactions. An increasing number of fans and pundits dissected Rachel Zegler's past statements, seizing upon moments where her comments about the original film seemed dismissive.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Memes circulated, unfairly suggesting she had single-handedly tanked the live-action Snow White. While the friction with Gal Gadot was a subplot, the real drama centered on Disney's apparent pivot to Jenna Ortega.
She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, and mainly because of her, and because nobody wanted to support her.
Some industry observers argued that Rachel Zegler's strong opinions had endangered the project, leading the studio to seek a safer, more unifying presence. The contrast with Minecraft couldn't be starker.
And the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event.
The video game adaptation wasn't plagued by woke controversies. It wasn't trying to lecture its audience. It was, by all accounts, just silly fun for kids. Exactly what many felt a kids' movie should be.
Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform.
And the box office reflected this. Minecraft's success was attributed to its faithful adaptation of a beloved property and its broad appeal, a direct counterpoint to the perceived missteps of Snow White.
It just takes a beloved movie and makes it much more boring and much less realistic. The movie is really, really bad.
Now, the burning question, what does this rumored Jenna Ortega-led project entail? The buzz suggests a version that might hew more faithfully to the 1937 classic, perhaps with slight updates to reflect modern values.
It is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message.
The very approach many critics of Rachel Zegler's film had been advocating for. This potential return to the source material's sincerity and charm has already generated excitement among fans, who disliked the rumored changes in the previous adaptation.
By my company to watch a children's movie as a single man, like 2 p.m. on a Thursday. That was the first part that was a little bit weird, but I was basically the only person in the theater.
For Rachel Zegler, this shift likely felt like a direct rebuke. Her vision seemingly deemed invalid by the very company that initially championed it. The financial implications are staggering. Reports suggest the Rachel Zegler-led Snow White.
In theory, Snow White should as well. Snow White's the movie that made Disney, the studio. They should have been more cautious and careful with their own IP.
Is projected to lose over $200 million for Disney, a monumental disaster. This stark reality likely solidified the studio's decision to explore a different path with Ortega. For Rachel Zegler, the disastrous opening weekend.
Very few people wanted to see this. Even the little kids who like Disney movies, even they don't seem to be turning up in droves for the movie because The movie is really, really bad.
Or lack thereof was a public humiliation, seemingly confirming the worst of the online negativity and casting a shadow over her future prospects. The entire saga serves as a cautionary tale about the delicate balance between modernizing classic stories.
The Disney Snow White, faithfully adapted, would have made $1 billion. Everyone knows this.
And respecting their enduring appeal. It highlights the risks of alienating core fan bases in pursuit of contemporary relevance and the potential consequences of negative publicity fueled by outspoken creative choices.
In every way that the movie differed from the beloved 1937 original, it was worse.
As Hollywood digests the implications of Snow White's apparent failure and Minecraft's surprising success, the future of Disney's fairy tale adaptations hangs in the balance. Will Jenna Ortega's potential woke reboot, if that's indeed the direction?
It got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made $2 million.
Be the magic mirror that reflects a brighter future for the franchise? Let's talk in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button if you found this deep dive into the Snow White saga as captivatingly chaotic as I did.
In contrast to Snow White, I was really expecting the Minecraft movie to bury Snow White. I was expecting it to bury it, and it has.
And definitely subscribe to this channel for more behind-the-scenes Hollywood dramas and unexpected twists. This is Sasha Spills, signing off. I'll see you in the next video.